So basically, the job market is a mess, especially in the United States. Inflation is fucking out of control. Young guys are falling behind, and it just seems like it's not even worth working for anybody or doing anything or working hard because ultimately you're going to get taxed to death. You're never going to be able to afford a house unless you're a millionaire, and you're just never gonna make it, dude. And so it takes the wind out of the sails of most men. And I was thinking, like, well, what can I do, right? Like, I quit my job recently and just living off of my savings. And it's like, I gotta make money. I can't just be a NEET. Like, my parents are broke too. Like, I can't move in with them. So it's like, how do I make money on my own? How can I not be an employee? How can I potentially make millions of dollars? And so I decided to type into ChatGPT, what are the skills that if you learn them, you can pretty much succeed in any business, in any type of industry that you want to get into. Doesn't matter what it is. What are the skills that will translate across all of them to make you incredibly successful? And this is the list that I got. Skill number 1, critical thinking. Okay? That you're able to sit down and think about, this is a problem. How do I solve this? Let me try this. Okay, that didn't work. Let me try that. Okay, that did work. It seems simple, but a lot of people aren't critical thinkers. They try something once and then they give up. I don't know, it didn't work. You have to try to solve problems, tinker around, be able to experiment. So critical thinking is incredibly important. Second skill is communication skills. And that is incredibly important if you want to be a boss, if you want to get things done. I agree. And communication isn't just speaking, though it is incredibly important. How you say something, the specific words that you say, the timing that you say them. But it's also how you write an email. It's also who you decide to talk to first, right? That you're not wasting a bunch of time talking to every single person. Talk to the few people that matter. Just being able to express yourself and get your ideas across, and also be able to interpret what other people are saying so that you can actually make things happen. So communication skills, abso-fucking-lutely. And third on the list was financial literacy. Very good one. Basically meaning you understand some basic principles of what taxes are, how they affect you, what inflation is, what your return on investment is. If you put a certain amount of money into an investment, how much money are you going to get out? Interest rates and all of that stuff. You need to understand that, and you need to understand the basics of it. You don't necessarily need to be a financial genius, but you do need to be literate in it. Cool. Sales and marketing. This is a big one. It's just you are able to sell, whether it be on the phone, whether it be in person, whether it's selling a product or whether it's selling an idea, that you're able to convince someone of something, that you're able to market something. You know where to put ads, you know how to demonstrate to people the value of what you're offering. These are all incredibly important things. And again, you don't have to be a master, but if you understand them and are skilled in them, you can take those skills to any industry, and it's super important. You're gonna have to market. You're gonna have to do sales. It's just gonna happen. And so you need it. The next one is leadership skills. That's super important. And I think most people shy away from leadership. I know I have in the past. I just want to do my job. I don't want to have to tell anybody what else to do. But You really do. If you want to be wealthy, if you want to be rich and shit, even if you want to be an employee, but you want to be like maybe a little bit higher up, you're going to need to have some leadership to be able to delegate and be able to teach. And like, okay, I need you to do this skill. This is how we'll do it. How you're able to encourage someone to work, do a good job, teach them well, and then know how to fire someone if you need to fire them. That's all super important. Leadership it's mandatory. And you can use it anywhere. Adaptability and resilience. This is one of the key things that I believe is important, that I'm learning right now. That you have to keep going. That when things go wrong, when things go bad, when things go sideways, you keep moving, you figure it out. Maybe you'll be down for a little bit, but you get yourself right back up. You have to be able to change when the weather changes. You need to solve the problem. It goes back to critical thinking, but you have to like, okay, this bad thing is happening. What do I have to do to adapt and solve it? And how do we stay resilient and keep moving? Most businesses fail within like the first year, right? And most of the time it's because they didn't adapt, or they weren't able to stay resilient and keep moving, keep going forward. It's vital. Creativity and innovation. If you can learn how to be creative and innovate, change things, make things better, think outside the box a little bit, try new things that you've never tried before, you're going to succeed. Now, sometimes you need to stick with what works, but it's good to explore because then you can start making even more money, doing even better things. And again, it has to do with adaptability. If you want to adapt, it means you have to change your strategy, which means you have to be creative. You need to think of something to do to solve the problem. And so creativity, innovation helps with that. Time management and prioritization. That's something that I've thought that I was able to do really well, but in recent times, I'm like, damn, I'm fucking up on this. But this is super important. You can't just expect things to get done and to magically have things happen. You need to be on a schedule. You need to know what's important and what's not that important, prioritize the things that are important, and eventually get around to the things that aren't so important. And yeah, that definitely goes for everything. Networking skills. Yeah, it is all about who you know. Are you able to shake hands? Do you know which hands are the best hands to shake? Are you willing to shake 3 hands so that you can shake the one hand that's most important? Getting to know people, being able to offer people value, being able to offer people services, and endear yourself to people. That's how you make moves. Like finding people that have skills that you want and you can pay them, or people that can give you opportunities for your business. Yeah, you need to know how to talk to people. You need to know how to build rapport, which is part of sales and marketing too. But, all of these things kind of interweave with each other and they kind of support each other, which is good because that means you don't have to learn everything completely separately. But networking is a major one because it really is all about who you know. And then continuous learning and self-development. Yeah, learning is a skill. And knowing that you need to continually better yourself is very important. You could stay stuck and stay stagnant and just, I learned one thing and it's got me some success, so I'm going to just stick with that and never change. You could do that, but especially in today's world where everything's digital and everything's changing and everything's improving at a rapid rate, you need to be ready to adapt and be resilient, which was one of the other rules. But you need to, in order to adapt, you probably have to learn new things. You need to be able to learn quickly and to develop yourself and continually improve yourself, because the market waits for no one, right? It's people, especially in the market that we have now. You got to keep moving. You got to keep learning. And so, the thing that may get you good business this year may be out of date by next year. So you need to be able to learn the next thing, move one rung up the ladder. And so I think ChatGPT really gave a good set of rules, critical thinking, communication skills, financial literacy, sales and marketing, leadership, adaptability and resilience, creativity and innovation, time management and prioritization, networking skills, continuous learning, and self-development. I think that those are a good set of skills to learn, and the best way to learn is by doing. And so if you can find jobs that are, it's like a sales job, that'll teach you sales and marketing. If you can find a job where you're constantly talking to people and need to communicate with people clearly, that'll help you with communication. Try to deliberately seek out a leadership role and learn how to be a leader. Just all of these things you can learn on the job, and then you can use them later when you start your own business or go to a different job. So yeah, in today's world, work sucks, and you need to learn the skills that really matter, because school pretty much taught you how to be an employee, right? It taught you how to sit down, shut up, and do what we tell you to do it for 8 hours a day, possibly overtime, and you work 5 days a week, you're off on the weekend, and you come back for more every week for the rest of your life, and that's all. That's what school has taught you to do. And these skills, especially critical thinking, that's for damn sure. School does not teach you how to be a critical thinker. So if you want to be successful, I think ChatGPT knocked it out of the park with this one. So I'm going to get started learning all these skills, and I think you should too.